Folks, in today's video, I'm going to show you very easy step-by-step directions on how you can use pool shock to disinfect water should SHTF happen. And I will even drink dirty lake water that's been treated, right after the channel intro. Remember, you are ultimately responsible for protecting yourself and for providing for yourself. Live your life with honor and integrity, and always be the wolf hunter. Don't be the sheep, and never be the wolf. Welcome to this community. I'm a police officer, an oath keeper, and an avid prepper. And I'm also certified to teach firearms and the use of deadly force through my state's police academy. If you want to learn true prepping skills and not just see another channel trying to sell you the latest junk prepping gear, and if you want to learn how to protect yourself and how to keep yourself out of jail should you have to protect yourself, then please subscribe to this channel. Okay, so in my prepping journey, I wanted multiple ways to be able to make water safe to drink should SHTF happen. So I've got different water filters and purifiers like the Berkey and the Sawyer. And I also bought some regular pool shock in order to be able to make bleach, aka chlorine, to use to disinfect water with. Now, I have seen plenty of YouTube videos talking about being able to use pool shock to disinfect water, but I don't think I've ever actually seen a video where they actually use it. In today's video, we're going to do that. Now, some people may say that using pool shock to disinfect water is not a good idea, but even the Center for Disease Control talks about using unscented bleach to disinfect dirty water. Now, to do this, I got regular pool shock because it's my understanding that bleach, aka chlorine, since it's in liquid form, has a shelf life of about 1 year before it loses its effectiveness. Whereas the dry, granulated pool shock has a very long shelf life if stored correctly. But I wanted another option of being able to use homemade bleach to disinfect my water because chlorine will kill a lot of bad stuff, such as algae and many viruses and other things that may make you sick. Now, with using pool shock, you want the regular pool shock and not the super pool shock. Super pool shock will usually have algicide in it, and you don't want any other active ingredients in your pool shock besides regular pool shock's main ingredient, which is calcium hypochlorite. And the same goes for bleach. If you're not making your bleach out of pool shock but using store-bought bleach to disinfect water, then you want the unscented bleach. You're simply wanting the bleach to do its job and not putting perfumes in the water that you're trying to disinfect. And for the directions that I'm going to be using for myself in this video, you'll want your regular pool shock to be around 70% calcium hypochlorite. Now, in this video, I'm going to be using a 73% calcium hypochlorite that I got from a local pool supply store. And this Ultima brand TKO regular pool shock costs close to $6 a bag. But my personal belief is that exact science doesn't really matter here. If you put just a little too much in your water, then you simply let it sit longer before you drink it. And maybe pour the water back and forth between two containers to help the extra chlorine escape your water. Even in my tap water from my sink, I can actually very slightly smell the chlorine that the local municipality uses to treat the water. So I just do mine in such a way that I don't smell the chlorine or the bleach at all. I figure that if I can't smell the water that I disinfected, then it's probably more free of chlorine than what my tap water provides. But it's my understanding that a single 1-pound bag will disinfect 10,000 gallons of water, meaning that a standard box of 5 1-pound bags of shock will disinfect 50,000 gallons of water. So if you're like me, then get yourself a couple of boxes, and that should give you enough to disinfect water for a family of 3 for close to 20 years, if my math is right. And real quick before moving on, be sure to check out my video on storing this pool shock for long term. This stuff is really caustic and dangerous to store, and you just can't throw a box of it in with your preps. So consider yourself warned. Okay, so now since we know what pool shock is and what it will do for your water and storage issues, let's get on to the directions of how to turn the shock into bleach so you can use it to disinfect water should SHTF happen. First, mix 2 level tablespoons of pool shock to 3 cups of water. And now what you have is considered your standard household bleach, which can also be used for disinfecting and cleaning besides just water treatment. Now, if you're going to be disinfecting just 1 quart of water, you're just going to want to add 2 drops of the bleach that you've made. And if you're going to be disinfecting 1/2 gallon of water, then add 4 drops of this bleach. And then if you're going to be disinfecting 1 gallon of water, then you add 8 drops of your bleach. And then if you're going to be disinfecting 5 gallons of water, then you're going to use a 1/2 teaspoon. Now for this video, I went to a nearby lake that's in your typical subdivision. The water in this lake is almost always typically green, has a lot of algae in it, and typically smells like a fish tank. So since I collected 5 gallons of this water from this dirty lake, I will be adding 1/2 teaspoon of the chlorine that I've made to it. Now before I even add the chlorine to the dirty lake water, I'm going to pour it through a towel to help filter out at least some of the larger particulates, as I can already see at least 1 bug swimming around in the water. Now I need to point out that there's a week's time lapse between me getting this lake water and shooting this part of the video. With my work schedule, I was not able to complete the shooting of this video all in one day. So this lake water actually sat on my back deck for the past week until I could get to it today. Now what I'll be doing is adding this 1/2 teaspoon of bleach to the water and letting it sit for a half hour. And an Army manual that I read said to add a second 1/2 teaspoon of it if the water was still cloudy. But I'm just adding just 1/2 teaspoon because the water isn't cloudy per se, it's just discolored from algae. And if I have this correct, bleach will evaporate itself out of your water with a little time. But during that time that it is in your water, it will kill a lot of the bad stuff that is inside your water. And now since it's been about a half hour, to help aerate the bleach out of the water, I'm going to pour it back and forth between the 2 buckets. Now, even though I treated my water with the bleach that I made, I'm still going to run it through my Berkey. Now, some of you may want to give me grief about not testing the water when it's only been treated with the pull shock, but here's a couple of reasons why I'm still going to use the Berkey along with the pull shock. First, pull shock still usually has around 28% inactive ingredients in it, and I don't know what those inactive ingredients are, so I want my Berkey to filter those out. And second, I think it's smart, if possible, to treat your water both with the bleach and the Berkey, because it's my understanding that no water purifier on the market at this time can remove all viruses. So the purpose of using both the Berkey and the bleach to treat this water is to use the bleach to kill as many viruses as possible, and then use the Berkey to remove the inactive ingredients from the pull shock and to also remove the debris that was still inside the water. Basically, I want nothing but sparkling, thirst-quenching water to end up in my drinking glass. Now I will just pour this lake water that's been treated with the pull shock into my Berkey. And now I'll wait for several hours as the Berkey slowly does its job. And I'll be doing a video soon showing how well this Berkey purifies this green colored lake water, which kind of gets done in this video, but I still think it deserves its own video. Okay, enough water has passed down into the bottom bucket of the Berkey for me to get a glass of water, so let's give it a test. Okay, here's the water right out of the Berkey. Looks clear. I smell nothing. I smell absolutely nothing. When I first poured that lake water into the bucket, you could definitely tell it was lake water. It kind of smelled like fish and algae mixed together. Now I smell absolutely nothing. So let's give it a try. Let's see how good it did. It's actually pretty good. Very good. I smelled nothing, I tasted nothing. It was just absolutely crisp and clear, thirst quenching water. Even though I just drank the Berkey water and it tasted fine and smelled fine, I'm not going to end the video right here. I'm going to pick the video back up later on tonight, a couple hours from now, and just report to make sure that there's not been any stomach issues or any sickness or anything like that a couple hours later. Anyways, see you later. Alright, it's been about 24 hours since I drank that water. I had absolutely no issues whatsoever. That water was nothing but crisp, thirst-quenching water. I feel very comfortable now with using the pull shock to sterilize the water, and especially in using it in conjunction with the Berkey Water Purifier. Folks, to support this channel, please consider joining my Patreon video channel for only $1 a month to get access to videos before they're released to YouTube and other upcoming exclusive rewards available only to Patreon members. Doing this will help me make this a better community for you all. And also hit the like button and comment below with your thoughts. And hit the little bell notification button. And please also share this video. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to this channel as I plan on making many more videos about prepping and self-defense. Anyways folks, if you made it this far, hey, thank you very much for watching. And I pray that you have a good night.